Welcome to Wickerson Studios. I'm going back to what I've been doing. I have 30 run videos here of some experimentation I'm doing out at Wickerson Studios. It's pretty monster casting, pretty nice. It's actually from a pretty small uh, print coming from a massive 3D printer, and it's a triple tool path. And what I thought to do was start with this idea of robotics and KUKA, PRC and grasshopper for Rhino, and start to build some interesting scripts. And then I was doing things like pulling it into AR with FologramAR app. That I was thinking, okay, what if I had a pattern mold that I could get my kids or my students to make in front of a foundry that I could then pour metal into? So I went down to a 2D kind of relief, and I'll jump into this one. I'm not sure why I'm getting advertisements, but it just continues. I'm going to turn our volume down here so you don't get that. So, you know, simple toolpaths to start with a little bit of Fologram, and I did a lot of tests for a while. I was playing with a little bit of drilling holes within a skeletal structure, just to get my head around it. But at the same time, I was building a tilt furnace, and I was dragging out from my backyard this massive tilt furnace that I had salvaged from the Kansas City Art Institute, and then also some ladles and things I salvaged from Library's Bronze in Kansas City. So I put this huge tilt furnace ladle while I was developing these scripts into basically into my backyard to get it up and running. And I think I can get about 350 pounds of aluminum poured or continuously keep charging it. So this is a nice pattern. It's not got any order yet. It's just kind of jumping around and doing tamping all over the surface of something to think of a pattern mold. And I've since thought of branding, and I've thought of like applying expandable foam in certain tool paths, so something physical can pair against. And then I was just going through Carl Singlein's different algorithms for following tools and surfaces. And then I was building some sorting algorithms from Jose Luis's videos online about C#, which was a nice way to get the X, Y, and Z direction, or closest point or farthest point. And at that point, I was bringing out some of the AR Spark, thinking, okay, if this robot's out in the backyard and I've got a HoloLens on my kid's head, they could sit and follow along with the tamping pattern, or they can push in, or they can make a pattern mold from some instructional methods. So say you had this thing here running as you made a whole bunch of these consistently in green sand. You just keep staggering them and lifting them up and turning them. You'd have this pretty interesting parametric model, desk, chair, whatever you want. Piece of small architecture or architectural accent of sorts. So I just kept going with robots, and I followed these tool paths, and at the same time I was going out in the backyard. And here's a simulation I did with my kids where I just filled the furnace full of aluminum, with water to see where it would pour. I put a little kids pool there and put the augmented reality in front of it, and the kids are kind of playing around in the water with the real water pouring over onto them. And then I was kind of simulating that just for fun. So also to find out where the metal actually would land. So I'd have to know where I could put my green sand pit. So after that was done, I started bringing in gravel, started flattening things, still playing with augmented reality. I think I just continue. And I have a tilt furnace here that I've now got the lid that's going up onto it. I'm starting to buy some landscaping material so I could get it safe to walk around. And there's the sorting patterns of using a tamper or a branding tool on wood or something like that. I guess I did a little bit of robotic simulations, thinking about what if I was plastering the wall of something from the inside. The kids could kind of follow that pattern, follow that augmented reality robot, and then plaster a wall. And I think one of the last studies was brick wall simulation that I was playing off of, just kind of constructing this strange pattern. But that was moving away from where I was. Where I really was sitting here with a furnace that was fully operational, tilting into a green sand pit with a residual kind of smaller foundry on the side to kind of assist with it. And I immediately went into it, and I recorded these short, my wife recorded these short 15, 20-second videos of me lifting the lid. The furnace is actually on. This is making sound. I'm at the point of pouring it. You'll see here I'm lowering it. It's only got about 60 pounds of metal into it, so this could take like probably 6 times that material. Maybe 6, 7 times that material. And I've done a little pattern mold of this template, which is behind me. So I pushed that in from the plastic into an oil bonded sand. And after you pour, you can level it off, wait till it chills, pull it out, rake it, do another tamp of your pattern mold. And I was only doing one. And after I did the tilt, I think this is the one where the tilting and the metal kinds to flow out. And I'm being a little cautious because it's the first time I'm tilting, and I'm not sure what the reaction is going to be. I know what it'll be on the petrobonded. I didn't know my own linseed kind of mix of oil sand and some clays, what would happen. So kind of messy. Don't have the best pores build coming on, but it is running around the form, and I was able to do that a couple times. And then I just level off the tool, walk you through, and then I draw and clean up with just a steel rod some of the details, and also try and get a little bit of drawing into this tool, because I'm not sitting here purely manufacturing, even though that's where this may be applied. I'm kind of in the backyard as a backyard foundry sculptor after 20 years, so I sure want to make some interesting castings like this. And this one's just been finished with shoe polish and a little bit of wire brush, but I actually like it as a form. Since I've made wheels my whole life, I think it's kind of a funky, kind of primitive, robotic-driven mix of past and present culture. And here I am just drawing out a little more, and I think I end up with a couple of interesting forms, and I put these all up on YouTube, and the toolpaths are on my GitHub, and they're on my Patreon page if you want to get them. And we'll see where this goes when I fill this pot this weekend to 350 pounds. So that is what I'm up to. If you're interested, you can jump into this YouTube video series of robotics metal casting at Wickerson Studios. And I will keep plugging away. Not sure where it's going to go. Pretty excited. Only had a few views of these videos, but the initial ones really attracted interest. I think I had a few in here that were in the hundreds. I think I got up to like 600 views in a couple of these awkward little ones, but my average views are about 100 people that are interested in what I'm kind of playing around with and having fun with. But it is exciting to me and new, and taking 20 years of Foundry experience and making it a little more contemporary and seeing where it goes. I'm going to step back and show you the scale of this thing because it's a monster. You can see I'm kind of dwarf beside it. It's just the camera doesn't allow it, but this is a small tool path on what I think I can do some massive patterns. And if I can pour 6 to 7 times the quantity of this, actually that I can probably do, but 20 times the quantity, because that's not even the full pot of what I mixed. You can imagine that this is going to be quite a bit of power out here in Kansas, and manufacturing power and some fun backyard hobby craft from one individual. Michael Wickerson, Wickerson Studios. Thanks for watching.